Not had Rapaport on.
Hello.
Since he was creating controversy in waves. So now, let me just tell you something.
Wait, let me say hello to Kristine. How are you, Kristine?
I'm so good today. How are you? I've really been enjoying your Insta stories lately.
Thank you, Kristine. How are you, Colin? I got to say hello to Kristine.
I completely understand that. So the NBA regular season's winding down.
Yes, sir.
And I have no problem saying this. I'm Team LeBron, maybe to a fault.
That's a good point.
Okay, that's my not brand. That's my thing, is that I think we beat up on Tiger Woods. And we should just say, God, like in acting, when Tom Hanks has a 20-year run, we just put our arms around him and say, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But in sports, when we get these icons like Tiger, half the golf world was like, come on. He throws his clubs. And I'm like, you're watching a meteor in golf shoes. Like, this has never happened. I think, seriously, half of America doesn't like LeBron, and it bothers me.
Well, half of America doesn't like LeBron because of his antics.
Well, what antics?
Well, the leaving Cleveland, the way he did it, that was a joke. That was the beginning of the skinny jeanification of the NBA. Leaving Miami. He knew he was going to leave Miami whether they won or lost that San Antonio series. And why not regroup after getting dismantled by San Antonio and go up for one more year? No, it's just he created this monster called the Big Three.
You're from New York, right?
Yes, sir.
Well,
yes, sir.
Why don't you just stay in Queens and act?
Well, what do you mean we're staying in Queens and act?
Well, why'd you come to L.A.?
Exactly. And I haven't been home since full time.
Because you had to go where the acting is.
You had to go where the acting is. Well, the winning ain't in Cleveland. Like, what does he want to go home? I'm saying this is why the country's divided. Now, I'm with you. I think LeBron James is the best player in the league. As much as I like to break LeBron blames, excuse me, Kristine, I meant LeBron James's chops.
Yeah.
He is the best player in the league, and I do think he should be in consideration for the MVP.
Thank you.
But the MVP this year is Russell Westbrook, and he's going to outnose and he's going to outnose James Harden. And my bigger problem with this pageantry that's turned into the MVP campaign all season long is, who cares?
Thank you.
Who cares about the season-long MVP?
Nobody cares.
Do you think that Dirk Nowitzki cares about his regular season MVP he had to sit there and accept his regular season MVP after being eliminated in the first round versus the Warriors. You think Steph Curry is sitting there going, my unanimous MVP from last season? That thing's in the closet hidden by some ugly Under Armour sneakers. You think Charles Barkley looks at his regular season MVP the same year that Michael Jordan?
So doesn't it turn you off that Westbrook seems to really deeply care about this?
Russell Westbrook seems to really deeply care about everything that it comes to basketball. And he has, whether he was winning, whether he was losing, whether he was shooting too much, whether he was alienating KD. That's the way Russell Westbrook plays. And that's the beauty of Russell Westbrook. So the fact, but they all care. But part of it is your fault, Kristine's fault, Skip's fault, Shannon's fault. We've been talking about the regular season MVP since November. When I was a kid, the guy would show up, he'd get the trophy, it'd be a little blurb. Now it's literally like the Miss America pageant. All season long, who's going to win? James Harden. I love James Harden. He should be the most improved player because he's the most reluctant passer, and now he's leading the league in assists. But the other day when he made his comment about MVP and he said, well, winning matters, he should be like, I'm not even thinking about that right now. The only thing I'm thinking about is getting my team to the finals.
By the way, he did basically, James Harden came out and said, the stats is all great, but like I want my favorite bite, and I think this matters. I think it matters when you're a radio host. One of the things Harden said that I've never heard Westbrook said, Harden said, it's just like nice to get everybody included. Have you ever gone to the Y and played basketball in your entire life?
Oh, and James Harden now he's talking about he's done it for this year.
Okay.
The rest of his basketball life, he didn't get everybody included.
Okay, but that's why I said that's why this year I think Harden has, to me, this year now, I watched them last night play. They weren't playing very well. Harden suddenly is like, I don't want to be the guy at the YMCA that drops 40 and nobody wants to play with him.
Right, I agree.
Okay, so let me defend LeBron on this. So you're an actor, producer.
Yes, I do it all, Colin.
So you
Director.
You could do this in New York.
Award-winning director.
Award-winning director.
Yes,
but you have moved out west because it's good for your business.
Good for my business, but the business has changed. But inevitably, most actors will at least spend a lot of time
I know
coming
Jeff
out
Garland. He's like, I love Chicago, but I got to live here.
Yes.
So basically all LeBron did was, I can't get free agents to Cleveland, and I don't trust my front office because after 7 years, you got me Larry Hughes.
Yes.
I'm going to go where the job's better.
And I'm going to make a media circus about going there.
Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade, Aqua Water. All LeBron did,
Not 6, not 7, not 8.
Well, it was
the fireworks are going off, the pom-poms are...
They're 25-year-old kids.
And then what about when he left Miami again? But this is just the beginning of the LeBron blames thing. As far as why people don't like him. First of all, you know what, Colin? Let me explain something to you. When I grew up, I hated Larry Bird. I hated Michael Jordan because they weren't on my team. That comes with greatness. So I'm not going to sit here and not tell you that he's not great. It's the same thing with Tom Brady, Joe Montana. When Jim Burt leveled Joe Montana and put him out of the game, I was so happy when that happened for the New York Giants. That happens with greatness. No one's ever like, you think everybody loves Tom Brady? You think everybody loves Aaron Rodgers? That's just the way, that's the nature of sports. You think everybody loves Derek Jeter? When you're that great, you're going to have people that love you, and usually it's the people that you're playing for, and the rest of the people hate you. So it comes with the territory. But these guys are all like thinking, you know, that it's the skinny jeanification, like everybody should love me. I do my commercials. I'm going home. That's part of being great.
So I'm like you. I'm not for, I'm okay. Like I tell Kristine, I stay mostly off social media because everybody's offended by everything. Everything. Jimmy Kimmel, if you go to Jimmy Kimmel's account, it's like my New Year's resolution, let's be offended by stuff that matters. So I'm not saying I'm rooting for United Airlines, but you know what? I don't like the way America treats its airline employees.
I agree.
I say an airline gets one noogie a year to a passenger.
And that was more than a noogie.
I want every airline gets 1 or 2 noogies a year to a.
They dragged him off the plane
was a
by his
little
feet
violent.
and gave him a bloody forehead.
Yeah, but they also did say, please leave the plane.
Like
now,
8 times.
Why does he have to leave?
I'm not saying they should have done it. It was obviously handled wrong. But the but is this. Everyone's like, I'm not flying United. Okay, well, the next time you need to go from Chicago to Louisville, ride a bike. Because that's your only choice. You're going to be flying United, whether you like it or not. That's the way it works. And listen, when you're flying these little dumpy planes, these short flights, unless you're flying coast to coast, it's every man for himself.
That's right.
The reason why that guy was pissed is not because he missed his flight. It's because he left his paper bag lunch that you're forced to bring on a flight from Chicago to Louisville. You don't want to fly to United? Okay, well then jog it. You're Forrest Gump now. You're Forrest Gump.
Okay, so I live out west, and so people think I'm a West Coast homer.
Yes, you are.
A little bit. No, you know what I always feel like? When Rush Limbaugh started in radio, he said, I'm the balance. Whether he's right or not. He said, everybody's left. I'm just going to go right, so I balance it out. So I have always felt, when I worked at ESPN, I used to tell, and I told my bosses this, I said, every worker here is from Philadelphia, Bristol, New England, New York. I'm one of 2 people in the building that knows where the Rocky Mountains are.
I agree with you.
So I went on the air and I said to myself, I'm going to be the West Coast balance. I'm going to talk Pac-12 football, USC, Western Conference. That said, Michael Rapaport.
Yes, sir.
The West is overrated.
In terms of what?
Not beauty. You're going to tell me the Western Conference is great. No. In the last 18 years, the Lakers have won it 7 times, the Spurs 6, and now Golden State's going to win it for 5. We know Cleveland's the best in the East and Golden State in the West. The difference between those 2 conferences is San Antonio. That's it. If you took San Antonio in the East is better than the West.
That's a gigantic if, though, Colin. You say if they took them. Of course, yeah, but that's a big thing. The Western Conference, I don't agree with you. That
Clippers are dysfunctional.
They're playing the best basketball of their season right now. Watch it. They're beating Utah in the first round. That's happening.
Well, yes, and it will because they have better players. I'm going to their game tomorrow.
CP3 is looking sprightly and good.
Did you watch them last night?
It looked fantastic.
They look fantastic.
Yeah,
but they're totally dysfunctional.
I don't think they're dysfunctional. Like they're not like the Portland Jailblazers team. It's not like they're like fighting each other out there.
Yeah.
They're a good team and they're playing good and they're finally healthy. And I expect the Clippers to be like they're totally under the radar this year. I'm not saying they're going to win the thing, but I'm saying they could, if they get hot, they could do something.
So Michael Rapaport, movies producer, comedian, director. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. So I went to the Lakers 2 nights ago with my son.
Do you have good seats?
I did.
Courtside?
They were not. I don't do that.
Why?
Second row?
You know where the broadcasters are?
Yes.
I was in the first row.
Right behind them.
No, not behind them because it was the first row behind that row.
Who's giving you tickets? You're Colin Cowherd,
I know.
man. Your son's at the game. Put him on the wood, man.
Yeah, why don't you do courtside?
Yeah, get him on the wood. And if you could do courtside and you're not going to go, give him to me. I'll go courtside.
Have you ever gone courtside?
You can come with me.
Have I ever gone courtside? What do you think? I'm some chump? I live courtside, Colin.
In New York.
only New York treats the celebs the best. Out here, you got to fight to get those courtside seats.
True.
It's tough.
They've never given me courtside.
Well,
but you know why though?
People.
The Lakers had it in for me years ago when I worked at the other place.
Yeah.
Because they always feel like if you're on the station with the Lakers, you should suck up to them, and that's just not my act.
Yes.
And so they never treated me not poorly. Jeannie Buss was always great to me, but their PR department, if I said get me Kobe, I'd never get it.
Well, there have been some changes over there now, so you might.
I don't have any pull with the. Now
Start
I will
sucking
say,
up now,
you know
'cause
who I
things are
have to
on the
go to
rise.
get tickets?
Who?
I go to the guy that runs the Staples Center. I don't even go to the
Oh,
Lakers.
AEG?
Yeah, I go to the guy that runs the whole building because he's a
AEG.
buddy.
Yeah, well, hook me up with him.
Anyway,
all right.
Let's one other.
I want
I
some
want you to breathe fire here.
Okay, what do you want?
Okay. It's going to be Cleveland Golden State. We're in, right?
That's done.
Now,
Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. It's
now,
going to be 7 games.
Don't go old school. LeBron on that old rickety team, they have 4 stars, right? 4 of the top 10 players in the West. LeBron beats Golden State. Will you at least entertain the thought that he is the greatest player of all time? Come on now.
I entertain it now, man.
Oh,
he's
you
my
do?
second. Yeah, yo, listen, as much as I like to mess with him and all that stuff, I honestly, and I hate to say this in LA, and I'm going to need security. At this point, I put him just a smidge above Kobe, just in terms of.
Oh God, he's better than Kobe.
Better. I mean,
Okay.
you're saying it like it's like, oh, like it's like, you know, like he's trash. I think he's outdone it. I think that he's been there more. And I think the one thing that LeBron did that Kobe didn't is make people around him better consistently.
Yes.
Consistently. And I love Kobe. Kobe is my dude. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, say that LeBron James isn't all that. He's all that. He ain't going to ever be Jordan. The mystique, the losing in the finals, he ain't never going to be Jordan. He ain't going to be Jordan. It ain't happening.
By the way, Meryl Streep, nominated 19 times, won 3. Is she not great? Why can't you lose?
I just said she's great.
If you get nominated,
Of course she's great.
that's a win.
That's a win. But no, we already talking about acting and Academy Award
Okay,
nominations.
Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls, 4 for 4. Brady, 7 wins 5. Brady's better. Why in basketball do you have... Bill Russell went to 12.
Don't talk to me about Bill Russell and that time. He was playing against the corned beef king of Long Island. That's who he won his titles against. And then Oscar Robertson with his triple-double, he was playing against guys that were podiatrists in the offseason. Okay, it's a different playing
Bill Russell.
Field. The winningest athlete of all time and the most overrated NBA
Bill
player.
Russell.
He's not even in my top 10. Let me tell you something. Brian Scalabrine would have done what Bill Russell did in his heyday. Colin, you could have played professional basketball right now in that era.
Oh, God, no.
Yes, you could have.
Bill Russell was going up against Wilt, my friend.
I get it. He was going up with Wilt at the end of his career. Who was he going up in 1961, 62? He was going against my Uncle Maury from Jersey. Listen, and he was doing a lot of stuff for, like adversity and all that stuff.
Yes.
And he's a front runner. But let me tell you something. Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, you can't compare to what they're doing now. It's just the evolution of man, the evolution of sports. There were 12 pro teams in the NBA by the time Bill Russell retired. At one point, there were 8 teams. The Syracuse Nats. Bill Russell was going against Dolph Schayes. No disrespect to the great Dolph Schayes. But Dolph Schayes, come on, man. I mean, we're talking about like a different level of basketball. And for you to disregard what Russell Westbrook is doing now.
Oh, God.
And saying that it's overrated, it's not a big deal.
Hey, big rebound.
Yeah,
love his rebounds.
Yeah, his rebounds. And then what happens? Transition into a fast break. I mean, it's not like he's getting, and yeah, the big guys are letting him get the rebound because it benefits the team. They're a fast-breaking team. He's made the most of a bad situation. You agree, Kristine?
I completely agree.
Once you said that Bill Russell played against podiatrists, you won the interview.
He did. He played against podiatrists. He played against guys like John Havlicek sold insurance door to door in the offseason. Yeah, I mean, this is you can't even make the comparison. And I love these guys, Elgin Baylor, all these guys. These guys are great, but we should stop comparing them. The cutoff should be 1970. We should stop comparing them to the athletes of today and the technology and the competitiveness and the fact that there's 32 teams and at one point 12 teams. Come on, man, it's ridiculous.
Michael Rapaport, he's famous and stuff. Producer, director, comedian, writer. I got to go. It's The Herd.